Very good morning and a warm welcome to one and all present over here, teachers. I would like to congratulate all the teachers and thank everyone who have been regular and consistent in joining Super Sunday workshops. There must be many people who are joining here for the first time. And to give you a quick introduction, my name is Vasudevan Natarajan, and we at Super Teacher conduct regular Super Sunday workshops on various topics that are related to our Indian education system, within some influence of various other education systems as well across the globe. The perspective and the vision is to provide an exposure and an awareness about what's happening in the country directly from the documents and the right authentic areas to talk about the major shift that we'll be seeing in the forthcoming future in the world of education system, especially in India. So this will act like a platform for all the teachers out there to upskill and upgrade yourselves from information perspectives and act accordingly in wherever you are working as a teacher or a principal or any stakeholder position in the education system. So keeping that in mind, today's topic is in continuation to what we discussed last week, which is called as national credit system. This would be again a standalone topic as well, because somewhere, if you know this particular concept of NSQF, National Skills Qualification Framework, we'll get to understand what exactly credit framework is all about. One very important thing about the system right now is there are so many circulars, so many systems, massive changes that are we are able to witness right now. But going through each and every one of them, finding the hierarchy, who launched what are the departments that are associated with all these initiatives, understanding them becomes quite a tedious task, especially when we are working in a school system. We are already occupied with too many work with respect to administration, too many responsibilities by being a teacher. Sometimes there's also a problem of the paper corrections, the assessments, and whatnot. So in order to address these issues in a gradual systematic manner, we thought let's conduct Super Sunday workshops, as simple as that. And some of you have been regularly joining, and thanks to everyone for that particular aspect. The workshop would also be assisted with a reflection form right after the session, which would lead for which would be the platform for us to understand the people who have participated and provide the certification accordingly. These certificates could be submitted to your school to act like a proof or an evidence for having completed your uh, uh, the mandatory CPDRs. Apologies for the videos, teachers. Just give me a moment. I'm there in a different place and I'm not visible. Yes, you're right, Hemlata ma'am. Just give me 1 minute and then I'll quickly shift my camera and then we can continue. Just a minute, teachers. I hope I'm visible right now, teachers. I think you should be able to see me right now. Great. Yes, I can see that. I'm really sorry for this discrepancy. I'm very sorry about it. So let's quickly continue with NSQF and let's understand the history of it. See, 2009 as an academic year, 9-10 has been a year of massive changes in the Indian education system. There were a lot of realizations that happened. OECD conducted the PISA exam. Importance of skill development was recognized and realized in the year 2009-10. Then Education Minister Kapil Sibal was the one who spoke about providing same platform for the academics as well as the skill subject, but at the time there were not sufficient industries out there. So 2009-10 academic year could be considered as that transition period where massive changes have happened which are getting implemented right now. And it really takes time for a country like India, considering its diversity and the way people learn and live. It's quite different in different topographies. So keeping all that in mind, what exactly happened? Let me just share my screen and show you a brief history on National Skills Qualification Framework, and that which actually paved the way for credit system actually. So we will be talking about National Credit Framework once again in the upcoming workshops, so that we accumulate all the information and continue understanding based on the previous history. So this is how it looks like, National Skills Qualification Framework. Here in this case, the first time the notification was launched in 2022, talking about National Credit Framework, and they emphasized on the credit system to be followed in school education as well. Now this was quite a common scenario in universities and various other higher education bodies, but not in the school system. The idea was very simple, ma'am. It was, suppose if somebody takes an extra effort in learning something in an academic year, let us respect that particular person, as simple as that. It was assumed, which is called as notional hours. What was assumed? What was notional? It was assumed that a person or a person who is into the education system right now, learning their school system or in post graduation or in graduation, they would be able to spend at least 1,200 hours in one academic year. What do you mean by 1,200 hours? Let's assume this 1,200 hours to be, say, in 1 year, let's consider 12 months, yeah, or 10 months for that matter. They came with the conclusion that in a particular month, 120 hours is quite possible for anybody to learn. Approximately categorizing it to 4 hours per day, a minimum. So minimum somebody can definitely study for at least 4 hours, and within this 4 hours they can earn a certain competency, and based on that, they can continue learning further. And let's respect whatever they learn. In that 4 hours, probably somebody can learn max, science, social, or somebody can play a game of cricket or hockey. Somebody can be even into music, or somebody can be into carpentry. So let us assume that out of this 1,200 is whatever time that they're spending in learning. Let's respect the people. So that's the layman's language of understanding what exactly credit system is. So this respect is not given in the form of marks, but in the form of credits. So up after a point in time, like for probably, let's assume after 3 or 4 years, or after 10 years, after a decade, when somebody comes out, graduated or after post graduation, nobody's going to be worried about how was the process of that particular studies. Everybody will be worried about just the credit system. So if you have sufficient credits to prove the fact that you have completed so and so notional hours. So this notification was there in 2022 itself, but the discussion on credit system started back in the year 2009 itself. So this is what we saw last Sunday. We also understood a brief about the first credit framework document which came in 2022. We did not get into its detail. April 2023, again another, the upgradation to the draft document came into picture, and this is considered to be the final one, where you have got UGC, AICTE, NCVET, and various other bodies being part of National Credit Framework. Today, we are going to touch upon NCVET in specifics. Now, NCVET, the chairperson is Dr. Nirmaljit Singh Khalsi. So he's one of the key persons in actually designing this whole credit framework. What exactly was he talking about? What exactly is the intention and objectives? Let's understand that step by step. And once we understand those pointers, it'll be very easy for us to understand the credit system. This is going to be with an immediate effect for the academic year 2025-26 itself. So it's very important for all the teachers out there to really understand this. I'm just running through the slides that was actually taken in the last Super Sunday workshop. I would request you to please go through the YouTube video, which is already available, and have a look into it. However, having said that, in upcoming forthcoming Super Sunday workshops, we will be touching on National Credit Framework once again. Once again, it is very important. Let's go over here. Is the first thing. Why NSQF? What exactly is NSQF, which is National Skills Qualification Framework? Now, first of all, back in those days, students used to choose vocational subjects. Here in this case, I would like to quickly recall vocational training is about employability. I get trained myself in the field of carpentry so that I can immediately start earning. I can be a breadwinner for my family, and hence vocational trainings were present. Electrical maintenance was one of the vocational subjects. Electronics and communications was one of the vocational subjects. What did they teach over there? They did not teach about the series connection or parallel connection from concept point of view. They actually gave some wires, a bulb and a fan probably, and asked the students to connect them in the form of series and parallel connection. It was more experiential rather than conceptual. Skills were given more importance so that that particular learner can get a job immediately. A teacher being taught on how to teach could be a vocational subject. A teacher becoming by passion that you like to teach on the concepts that you learned cannot be considered as vocational. I hope you're able to understand what is vocational education. So vocational education is directly related to development of our skill sets. Hence, there was a negative perception back in those days about vocational education that when a particular child or a learner is not able to understand the academics of math, science, and social, and the languages, let us put this child in a vocational study. Probably that particular child will be able to connect things, fans and tube lights better, and can immediately get a job, something like that. So it was perceived to be something lower than the academics, which was a very bad thing. There were students of grade 9, 10, 11, and 12 itself who were very good with computer programming back in those days. In fact, cyber police were using some of their expertise to crack or hack some websites wherever required. Ethical hackers, these people are called as, right? So somewhere we are supposed to respect these people, which was not happening in that particular time. We are talking about pre 2009-10 academic year. Absence of clear pathways of learning and progression, especially on the vocational education and training front, with no clear provision for vertical or horizontal mobility. Okay, what after electrical maintenance? Can you continue your studies further after that? Is there any diploma course or an ITI course where I can learn about electrical maintenance? They were available, but not really systematic. It was not laid down properly. Lack of uniformity in the outcomes associated with different qualifications. For example, a child who is good at electronics and communications, can he learn about biology? No. There were some students who wanted, in my class, who wanted to join both physics, chemistry, maths, and both physics, chemistry, biology. Somewhere, someone had to sacrifice one of the subjects because they had to pursue a certain category. Now that is not going to be there. So that was another point. Now here I'm talking from vocational perspective. So the student should be able to be mobile, and the mobility should be easy. That was another point that they mentioned. Existence of a large section of people who acquired skills in the informal sector but did not have the necessary formal certifications. Sometimes I'm very sure some of you or your parents would have asked you to go and work in some kind of a shop in your summer vacation. Have you done that with your children? For example, during my summer vacation, my father got me working with a cycle repair shop, probably when I was in sixth or seventh standard. And that repair shop used to be there in our colony. And the person over there who's so-called the mechanic used to teach me on how to fix punctures, how to change the cycle tubes and things like that. Now this is a very informal way of learning things, and there's no certification to that. And in order to prove that I know so and so competency, I didn't have any valid documents to talk about it, except if I have to prove that only with an exam. So if there is an exam, I'm ready to prove my ability over here, but unfortunately there were no exams, no assessments as well. So existence of a large section of people who acquired skills in the informal sector but did not have the necessary certifications. Absence of mechanism for international recognition of Indian qualifications, adversely affecting the international mobility. Sometimes students actually travel to various other countries, and there they prove their ability and agility with some exams. India did not really have that. So this is how the problems were existing, and because of that, they came up with this idea. See, look at this. This is the last slide with theoretical aspect. National policy on skill development was formed in the year 2009. India recognized the need for the development of a national qualification framework. Now, they are not talking about skills over here. National qualification framework that would transcend both general education as well as vocational education. Transcend in the sense, surpass both of them. a framework, a qualification in which both are considered and a result is provided, something like that. So they just form this policy called as National Policy on Skill Development. Now, at that particular time, there was no separate ministry as such. So it was like, in the absence of an organization at the central level to develop such a framework, individual ministries started working on development of the framework. So multiple bodies, they came together, they said that let us sit together and let us try to design the own skills framework. Teachers, you wouldn't have heard anything about this in your previous teaching career. Some of you would have actually heard about it, but I'm not really sure about it. Why I'm mentioning this is, this forms the basis of national credit framework today, and that's the reason I'm showing this to you. Now, what exactly happened when nothing was there in the beginning? Some of the ministries came together. Who are those ministries? The Ministry of Labor and Employment. It was existing at that particular time. They developed the National Vocational Qualification Framework, NVQF, only for vocational. And the Ministry of Human Resource Development, today Ministry of Education, but at the time they developed National Vocational Education Qualification Framework. So one side there is vocational qualification that is based on exams, assessment. Separately there is another place where it is on education, how to educate the children on those vocational subjects. These were the two bodies majorly who sat together and they drafted the first NSQF document, and this happened somewhere in the year 2013. So, realizing the need for uniform framework, an interministerial committee was formed by the cabinet secretary to utilize the work already done by two ministries as the foundation for NSQF, which is notified blah 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 on 27th December 2013. And you will be surprised, teachers, who launched this. So in 2018, uh, no, sorry, 2013, by the Department of Economic Affairs, Ministry of Finance. So, in order to develop NSQF and the launch of it, it was not just the education department sitting together. The workforce has come together and they drafted it. So, somewhere, whenever you hear the word, this is formulated by the industrial experts, it means that the people who are currently working in the industry, they are the ones who actually drafted this particular document, the first draft. You can find that in the CBSE website, and whatever I'm talking about is actually from the NSQF document. So that's quite interesting to know that the people who are already working right now are talking about what's supposed to be there in the NSQF. And that's how in April 2023, an updated version got launched where the content got upgraded to a large extent. I'll show that to you right now in a few minutes. And they spoke about what is ideally supposed to be there. Are you the right person to tell in carpentry this is what you're supposed to teach? Am I the right person to say no? The people who are already experiencing it, who are working in that sector, are the right people to tell that, right? Hence, NSQF launched by Department of Economic Affairs. But however, in 2018, the National Council for Vocational Education and Training, NCVET, got formed. Chairperson being Dr. Nirmaljeet. They combined all these ministries and brought it under one department called as NCVET. 5th December 2018, with the approval of cabinet dated 10th October 2018, subsuming means bringing everyone together. Erstwhile before National Skill Development Agency, NSDA, and National Council of Vocational Training. That's it. So this is the story behind it. So in 2009, somebody told that skills are very important. And because that somebody told something at that particular time, multiple bodies came together. And these multiple bodies formulated a committee and said that this is what is supposed to be taught to the today's generation. Because once these children come out, we need good people who are skillful, not just conceptually strong. And in order to give this importance to skills, who are the right people to talk about it? The people who are already skillful about it. A bus driver is a better uh, tra- trainer for teaching how to drive a vehicle than a teacher who knows how a bus works. I hope you're able to understand. So here in this case, these skillful people came together and drafted this. And Dr. Nimaljit Khalsi, he came and he said that let's form NCVET. Let me head the department and bring everybody under that. And that's how they brought things under NCVET. So this is the history of NSQF. You also understood why NSQF. Now let us understand the NCRF. Now, with the onset of NCRF, NCVET has revised the NSQF to a large extent to make it more absorbed within the implementation of Indian education system by bringing on a common metric of measurement known as credits. There used to be a trend in parents in India talking about a very common statement. If you study for 2 hours, I will allow you to play cricket for 1 hour. Have you done that with your children? Or else today I think it's little extra pampering that's happening. So probably, अगर खाना खा लोगे तो मैं तुम्हें टीवी दिखाऊंगी. If you eat your food, probably I'll show the TV, or I will allow you to play the video games, something like that. I think you are getting the point, right? So this is with respect to the trend that used to happen, but now it's like parents are confused right now. Once NCRF comes into picture, even if the child is playing outside somewhere, the parents are very confident, or the teachers are confident that whatever time that they're spending over there can be respected if that is properly assessed. So if a child is going out and regularly playing cricket, let's assume cricket, so he has actually played cricket so well that he has excelled. Now, this excelled or excellency that we're talking about is based on some sort of an assessment, probably a match between one school or another school. And those students, once you are excelled based on a certain criteria, some credits are given. Remember, I'll also like to tell you that credits are not dependent on assessment. Assessment is important, but doesn't mean 90 marks just ko mila. The person who got 90 marks got more credits, and the person who got 40 marks got less credits. No, 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 no. It's not like that. You have a basic criteria to clear that exam, and once you clear it, you get the full credits for completing that particular skill. Let's understand this in a detailed manner. So this is how they categorized it: National Skills Qualification Framework and its components. Whatever I'm speaking, everything is from this document called as NSQF. I will show you. It is present in NCVET website. I'm just directly hitting the point because I'm kind of excited to speak about it. This never happened in the past. Yeah, you know that, right? Anyways, so these are the levels: level 1 to 8. So level 1 to 8 with certain pointers. In some places it's 2.5, 3.5, 4.5. These are all decimal numbers, but level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 is the major. In fact, level 1 is for grade 5 student. I think level 2 is for grade 8 student. Level 3 is for grade 9. Level 4 is for grade 10, something like that, which is mentioned in NCRF document. We'll look into that as well in the future sessions. But these levels are designed, and for each and every level, there is a rubric involved over here. So based on that rubric, you can measure if this particular person is in a certain level or not. Or else, indirectly to put it like that, a grade 5 student should be there at level 1. A grade 8 student should be there at level 2. It's like should. I hope you're getting the connect. So let's understand what exactly this should represents. So each level represents a different level of skill, complexity, knowledge, responsibility, and autonomy required to demonstrate the competence commensurate with that level. So now whatever they're talking about is some criterias that has to be satisfied. What are those? I will be showing that to you in few seconds or minutes. Level 1 of the framework represents the lowest complexity, while highest level, that is level 8, represents the highest complexity. So PhD, the doctorate degree, is at level 8, and level 1 is grade 5. Let's look into it. So each NSQF level is defined and described by a set of level descriptors, and that basically expresses the minimum knowledge, skills, and attributes that a learner needs to acquire in order to be certified for that level. The domains are professional theoretical knowledge. It is important for the child not only to understand the concepts of a particular textbook, but also understand where is it going to be applied professionally. If a textbook has something related to the job market scenario based on the concept that the children have learned, that is important. It is mandatory kind of, in fact, right now. Professional and technical skills and expertise. Now, this is with respect to skill aspect, not only the concept. More importantly, the aptitude and mindset towards that particular department. Now, you might think that not all the students will have an aptitude or mindset towards a particular vocation. Not really mandatory, right? But this particular choice is coming only after 8th standard. So we should understand the national curriculum framework for that. We will repeat that as well. Don't worry. Broad learning outcomes and level of responsibility. So this is page number 7. So let me actually have written that. So probably I want to show that to you. And this is how it looks like. Page number 7. Now, this would have been a CBSE circular for some of the schools. If you have gone through it, then that's great. If you have not, then please Google about it. I shall share the link in the chat in some time. So National Skills Qualification Framework and its components. See, these are the levels, whatever we mentioned on the website. And each level has got a certain descriptor. That means, do you have professional theoretical knowledge? Do you have professional and technical skills and expertise? Do you have the aptitude, mindset, soft skills, employment readiness, and entrepreneurship skills? Now, how much do you have is called as the rubric that we're talking about, which we will be seeing in the following slides. Let me directly open the slides for that matter. Slideshow. And here we go. Okay, now look at this. Qualifications and national occupation standards. Do you remember we were talking about something called as the teacher standards? You need to acquire certain standards in order to be the right or a good teacher, to be employable. There are going to be some 7 standards, if I'm not wrong. There was one document that got released sometimes back, uh, where it was supposed to be under the national curriculum framework for teachers, teacher training, something like that. But I've not still seen any document as such right now. Probably it's still not released. But the point here is national occupation standards is something related to that. For every job, you require a certain standard, which is defined over here. So qualification comprises of a number of smaller units of learning with independent learning outcomes called national occupational standards. It's actually occupation standards. NOS defines the measurable performance outcomes required for an individual engaged in a particular task and lists down what an individual performing the task should know and also do. So it's like, you might not be able to understand this statement a little bit right now. I'm assuming because I did not understand when I read it for the first time. We've put this in the form of a video as well. Thanks to one of the creators out there. It was very nicely put up. Let me show that video, play this video, and this will give you a very good picture out there on what exactly we're talking with respect to NSQF. Please watch this. It'll be in Hindi. Please.
स्कूल और कॉलेज के दिन होते हैं मजे के दिन। दोस्तों के साथ खेलना, कूदना, पढ़ाई करना और मस्ती करना। लेकिन जल्द ही एक और चीज हमारे लिए चिंता का विषय बनने लग जाती है और वो है भविष्य। फिर हम सब सोचने लग जाते हैं काम के बारे में कि काम कैसे मिलेगा, किस तरह से मिलेगा या फिर मिलेगा भी या नहीं। और ये चिंता जायज है, क्योंकि अगर हम स्टैटिस्टिक्स देखें तो हर साल बहुत से युवाओं को नौकरी नहीं मिलती। और ये इसलिए होता है क्योंकि काम देने वालों को आपके हुनर को पहचानने में मुश्किल होती है। उन्हें ये पता करने में दिक्कत होती है कि आप असल में क्या काम कर सकते हैं और कितनी कुशलता से कर सकते हैं और कितने अच्छे से कर सकते हैं। लेकिन NSQF के आने से ये सब बदल रहा है। NSQF यानी नेशनल स्किल्स क्वालिफिकेशन फ्रेमवर्क, जो आपको सर्टिफिकेट देता है जिस पर लेवल नंबर लिखा रहता है, और वो लेवल नंबर ये बताता है कि आप क्या कर सकते हैं और उस काम में आप कितने कुशल हैं, और उसका फायदा काम मिलने में आसानी, क्योंकि काम देने वाले को बड़ी आसानी से पता चल जाएगा कि आप क्या कर सकते हैं और उसमें कितने कुशल हैं। जैसे कि कंस्ट्रक्शन में पहले लेवल पर हेल्पर मीसन, दूसरे लेवल पर असिस्टेंट मीसन, तीसरे लेवल पर मीसन जनरल, चौथे लेवल पर मीसन स्पेशल फिनिशिंग, पांचवें लेवल पर फोरमैन कंक्रीट और छठे लेवल पर सुपरवाइजर स्ट्रक्चर बन के उभर जाता है। इसी तरह आईटी सेक्टर में चौथे लेवल पर डोमेस्टिक डेटा एंट्री ऑपरेटर, पांचवें पर टेक्निकल राइटर, छठे लेवल पर मास्टर ट्रेनर फॉर सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपर, सातवें लेवल पर एसोसिएट SCM सप्लाई चेन मैनेजमेंट, आठवें लेवल पर मैनेजमेंट ट्रेनी बन के उभरता है। इसी तरह प्लम्बिंग में पहले लेवल पर प्लम्बर जनरल हेल्पर, दूसरे लेवल पर प्लम्बर जनरल असिस्टेंट, तीसरे लेवल पर प्लम्बर जनरल, चौथे लेवल पर प्लम्बर जनरल सेकंड, पांचवें पर प्लम्बिंग फोरमैन, छठे लेवल पर बाथरूम एंड किचन डिजाइनर, सातवें लेवल पर प्लम्बिंग साइट इंजीनियर और आठवें लेवल पर वेस्ट वाटर सिस्टम डिजाइन इंजीनियर। NSQF के तहत हर सेक्टर में जॉब अनुसार अलग अलग क्वालिफिकेशन बनाए गए हैं। हर क्वालिफिकेशन इंडस्ट्रियल सेक्टर के स्टैंडर्ड के आधार पर तैयार किया गया है। हर जॉब में अलग अलग तरह के कार्य होते हैं। हर कार्य की निपुणता और उसे ठीक तरह से करने के स्टैंडर्ड को नॉस या नेशनल ऑक्यूपेशनल स्टैंडर्ड कहते हैं। उदाहरण के तौर पर असिस्टेंट मेसन एक जॉब रोल है जिसमें अलग अलग तरह के कार्य करने पड़ते हैं, जैसे कंक्रीट मसाला बनाना, प्लास्टर करना, ब्रिक्स लगाना, दीवार सही तरह से बनाना, दरवाजे और खिड़कियों के फ्रेम बनाना, कंस्ट्रक्शन संबंधित सामग्री को ठीक से रखना। इन सभी स्टैंडर्ड आधारित कार्य को ही नॉस कहते हैं। बहुत सारे नॉस मिलकर क्यूपी बनाते हैं। क्यूपी का मतलब क्वालिफिकेशन पैक, जो अलग अलग जॉब के लिए अलग अलग है। NSQF के तहत सभी कार्यों को निपुणता और कुशलता से करने की ट्रेनिंग मिलती है। इन कार्यों को ठीक तरीके से प्रशिक्षण लेकर कार्यों को संपादित कर NSQF सर्टिफिकेट प्राप्त किया जा सकता है और ये सब है बिल्कुल आसान। आपको सिर्फ NSQF प्रमाणित ट्रेनिंग लेने की जरूरत है, जो इंडस्ट्री के लिए इंडस्ट्री के द्वारा डिजाइन की गई है। तो देर किस बात की, जल्द ही NSQF कंप्लायंट ट्रेनिंग लीजिए। NSQF है आपके हुनर की पहचान।
Okay, fantastic. NSQF है आपके हुनर की पहचान. That's interesting, right? So this particular shift that we are expecting, I'm very sure that the students who are really into skills, who are into fiddling with stuff, who are into tinkering and the perception of teachers or educators or parents saying that let's not spend a lot of time in that because we have further things to study is going to get gradually abolished if this happens. And this started in the year 2009. Let's imagine. So it's like 2009 and now 2024. Nearly 15 years, right? And with this 15 years, I'm very sure like the framework that would have got made at the back end would be strong enough to address the issues. But somebody very nicely mentioned out there what is the age category. Well, here in this case, they did not mention about the upper age category, but they said that this can be started from school education itself. Now we have got skill subjects from when NEP came, probably it was written as 8th standard onwards. But when NCF came, it was already mentioned as grade 6 onwards, we can have skill subjects coming into picture. And these skill subjects that we are learning, though it is considered to be weekly 1 period or 2 period right now in a school system, this might become another major component of school system. So somewhere the people who are running the schools, the management, if you're there in the meeting, somewhere the principals and the leaders who are out there to make some decisions in your schooling system, it's going to be a high time for you to design or restructure your school. New hirings can happen from respective departments. Already I know some schools where there are some skillful laborers who are, see, they're called as laborers. That's really a term that we think is some substandard or something like that. He's just a laborer. No, these people are the people who are designing the curriculum, so that they are really big, and these people are called to schools and the students are taught. It's already happening in many schools, right? So let me quickly share the link of the video with you because you've been asking for that, and also the document if possible, and then we'll quickly conclude on 1 or 2 slides on how the structure is happening and where will it go towards to. So for that, I would like to click over here, copy, go to the Zoom portal, come to the chat. I'm really sorry about the video today. It's kind of, I know it's fluctuating. I do not know why, but sorry for that. Okay, I launched the YouTube link out there, teachers. I think you're able to see that, right? Great. So let's finally come to a conclusion with respect to our presentation. And let's go to the next slide. So these are going to be the level descriptors. You should be able to see the slide in a few seconds. Great, here it is. Watch this. So level descriptors for NSQF levels. What do you actually mean by level 1, level 2, level 3, and things like that? Look at this. So there are 5 domains under which the students are monitored. Yeah, the metrics is professional theoretical knowledge, professional and technical skills, aptitude, broad learning outcomes, and responsibility. So each of those explanation is given over here and it is defined. So level 1 means it's just elementary knowledge, role confined skills, basic employment readiness, repetitive tasks, and a helper. Now, when you go to level 2, let's open this particular page. And for that, I need to go to page number 21. See, this is again a 40-page document, completely written in black and white, but it's an interesting document. Okay. Uh, Okay, where is it? Here it is. Yeah. So you can just come down and you can see the level 1. So basically it's just the rubric, just like the way you fill it for the students. Here for vocational studies or skill subjects, this is how the categorization could be. Again for level 2, then again for level 3. So basically level 2.5 to 3. And look at this, they have nicely written ITI after 8th standard. So somebody was asking about the age category, right? After grade 8. Again, they mention ITI after 10th. So you are under level 3.5 to 4, or you must be under level 3.5 to 4 if you are doing an ITI after 10th standard. Remember, we are talking about a credit system which is going to be the future, where academics education and vocational education both are going to be given equal importance, completely equal. There's going to be a time very soon, probably in a year or two, where the importance to both the aspect of play and study is going to be, equal. And parallelly, the things that are hindering a student's growth, somewhere it is believed to be the coaching centers. You would have heard about a ban on coaching center as well, until the age of 16. I think if anyone out there knows about it, you can put it on the chat. So that is again another rule which will help the students in getting more time to give importance to their academic studies as well as vocational studies as well. There was one very nice quote by one of the allow the children to go and work in workshops. They'll show better creativity than the people who are already in that system for 10-15 years. When we are habituated to do a certain type of work in a certain systematic manner, our brain does not really accept any change over there. It becomes very difficult. But for a person who's really new to the system, can have a totally different outlook. So here in this case, more the young generation moving towards skills is more important than people who are very experienced and continuing to do the same thing. Somewhere indirectly, I'm trying to tell you over here is, if any teacher out there with a certain type of teaching regularly done for the last 10 or 15 years, it's high time that we start changing it. Anybody, irrespective of the age, when I say young and old, it's not about the age, it's about the initiative taken. A teacher who is 60 years old and coming up with a new idea of implementing that particular subject is a very young teacher than a teacher who's 10 years experience but repeating the same stuff again and again. I hope you're getting the point, right? So it's about the initiatives taken, and that is getting respected right now. Now, how far it is applicable for people who are of 40 50 years age, and like, I'm a 50-year-old teacher, can I learn about carpentry right now? So I'm not able to find any tangible statement mentioning about it. Somewhere there must be some criteria over there, but let's wait and watch. Just now these things are becoming very effective. Maybe there'll be a like time shortly where such level of detailed documents will also come. So these are some of the pointers, teachers. I hope everybody understood about level 1 to 8. This level 1 to 8 is multiplied with the credits to get the final credit points. Now, what do you mean by this particular statement? We'll understand in the forthcoming sessions. And just like the way we indulged into national curriculum framework continuously, I think for 4 Sundays, which paved the way to understand that the system of education is changing. This is another initiative, or I would say, the conclusion to an initiative in this particular academic year, to understand that yes, NEP is literally New Education Policy 2020. So yeah, to feel that, I think we need to work again for a few more Sundays and get a complete clarity. In this session, if anybody out there thinks that I did not understand much, I did not have a certain clarity over those so and so points, you are there in the right mode. Don't worry about it. It's going to take some more time, probably another 1 or 2 Sundays, to get a very clear picture on what's going to happen in the future. So that's with respect to the latest information on another Super Sunday workshop, teachers. This particular document which you're looking at right now, which is called as standard norms for minimum entry criteria and range of notional hours, etc., for national skill qualification framework, aligned qualification. So you can see that NSQF level attained after vocational education training or skill training. So you are there at level 1. So no formal education, no experience, but you studied for 150 to 210 hours. You are there at level 1. Employability skills at this particular point should be at least 30 hours. Then LTT course is required over here. No. What is LTT? Long-term training. So we will understand this particular tabular column in much more details a little later. You can see that यहाँ पे hours are mentioned, but the credit points are not mentioned. So the document that connects the hours and the credits and the credit points, that is called as National Credit Framework, which we will see in the forthcoming sessions. Too much to take on one particular day, teachers. I'm really sorry if this is very new. If it's confusing, that's completely fine. Let's wait, be a little more patient for another Sunday, and let's get things clarified. I would humbly request everyone over here to please go back and check in the authenticity of whatever information that is being presented in such YouTube seminars and webinars. I'll repeat, we are the second information providers. So this is the second stage. We're not the first stage, right? So these are spoken by the CBSE, NCRT, Ministry of Education, UGC, NCVET. These are the right people who are talking about it. So I would request you to please watch those videos as well on CBSE portal, or else go through the documents, understand the importance of it. Super Sunday workshop would be helpful in just getting the overarching understanding of what's happening. But after attending this session, if you go through the documents, the understanding levels are going to skyrocket. So it's my humble request to please go back and check it out. So that's it from me for this particular Super Sunday workshop, teachers. The reflection form is coming on the chat. Please fill it up before 6 p.m. today, and you shall receive the certificate. This is approximately, I think, 54th Super Sunday workshop. There are 50 other topics completely different from one another, which is dealt in the last one academic year. I would request you to please go back and check it out. And today is the last date of this financial year, 2023-24. 24-25 is just about to begin. All the very best to everyone. I hope all the teachers out there with the kind of salary that you already receive, you would have done a little bit of savings here and there. And if you have missed out on that, today is Sunday. I'm not sure if it will be considered. Please try to fill it up and do the needful. Thank you so much, teachers. Great interacting with one and all. I'll share the link of this particular document in a few seconds over here, but I'll see you in another Super Sunday workshop with a better topic, new topic, and connected to Indian education system. Until then, Jai Hind and bye everyone. Happy weekend. I'm sharing the link of this particular document over here on the chat. So you can go to NCVET, National Council for Vocational Education and Training. Let me share my screen and show you. So you just need to type NCVET. This is how it'll get opened. There'll be notification. Okay, let's click on this. Great. Okay, so National Council for Vocational Education and Training. Come down. We'll talk about National Qualifications Register, NQR, shortly. We'll talk about National Credit Register. We'll talk about that as well. Okay, here it is, NSQF notification. So the moment I click on this link, the complete document gets opened up. I'm sharing the direct link over here on the chat. If there are any trainers out there who are there in the session, like usual, please, it's my humble request to go through the document in and out, all the 40 pages. There are a lot of elements of confusion and a lot of incomplete information. I think things will get clearer once we get multiple circulars. So let's not even talk about it. So requesting you to please be very careful and based on that, design your presentation. The link is right on the chat on NCVET or NSQF document. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, teachers. Thank you so much. Great, great. If there is any question, you can please put it on the chat and let's see if we can address that for a few minutes. Oh, thank you so much, Nisha, ma'am. I'm in Chennai right now. Yes. to go about the credits for the pre-primary. Yes, Sunipa ma'am, we will have a detailed session on pre-primary as well. It's going to be 0.01, 0.02, 0.03, 0.04 like that till primary. Grade 5 will become 1. You're right. We'll talk about it in detail in further sessions. You're right. Uh, Yashashri ma'am, all these sessions are present on YouTube as well. Please go to the Super Teacher official YouTube channel and you'll find a playlist of Super Sunday Workshop. You'll get to see all the other videos only in that playlist. Thank you, Rajan sir, for participating. Thank you, Srividya ma'am. Yes, Pushpalata ma'am, please shoot your question. Sharmishta ma'am, we did some sessions on special children and their needs. Please look into previous session. We'll touch that again in the month of probably June, July. Let's see. Bindu ma'am, we will have a detailed session on each and every skill subject. We're planning to frame a proper document on that. But again, right now the information is too less to talk about. Thank you, Ankita ma'am. Yashashri ma'am, thank you so much. You can join the Telegram group or WhatsApp group to get regular updates. Thank you, Sarabjit ma'am. Happy to see you here, ma'am. Thank you, Kiran ma'am. I would request every teacher out there, educator out there to talk about this to multiple people. Most interesting part of our life is the art of gossiping. I'm not sure if you do that, especially when the person is not here. Indian education system is definitely not here when you're talking to your relatives or colleagues. So please talk about it. Yeah, the more you talk, the more you remember and understand, the more you comprehend. Uh, let's forget about the other people who are there in different industries. But as educators, it's important to have debates, arguments. Some sort of an event in the school where the principal can uh, enforce the teachers to have this argument and talk about it. It's very important. Okay, Jashi ma'am, thank you. It's combination of both. The credit system is purely the combination of both, giving equal importance. Thank you, Parul ma'am. Correct. This particular topic is quite, different and very new to the Indian education system. So schools need to train the teachers very nicely on this topic. We really need an excellent trainer, probably people from CBSE and IC. In fact, they're conducting regular trainings. If you see, there are regular notifications launched. Let me show you this. Thank you, Sarabjit ma'am, for raising that particular point. So let me go to the archives of the circular and you'll see that NCRF is repeated multiple times. NCRF. Okay. See, sensitization awareness program on national credit framework. And this happened in March. And which location you can see this? This happened in Ghazipur Divine Global School. And the registration link was launched. Similarly, again, sensitization program in another location happened. And that is, where is it? Where is it? Al Noor International School, Bahrain. So for the CBSE schools who are there in Bahrain. So like that, in each and every location, this was happening since a long time. So even in the last year, it happened. So in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, you know, this is the school venue basically. And multiple schools can come to one school for, attending the training program. So please go through these circulars. And in India, it was on 27th February, 13th March, and 15th March. So Tagore International School, Jaipur, Choitram School, Indore, Sunbeam School, Varanasi, DAV Public School, Amritsar. See, so please be aware about all these things and attend the training program physically also if possible. It'll be interesting. Happy Easter to one and all. Thank you so much, Sanita ma'am. Hello, Mukherjee sir. Oh, ma'am, you had a question, right? I'm not able to see, but I missed your chat. Can you please repeat that again? The chat went back. Hema ma'am will talk about the national credit framework, and at that time we will understand the assessments, the rubrics. Yes. Yes, Saloni ma'am, you're absolutely correct. Thank you, Saleha ma'am. Thank you, Pooja ma'am. Means a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, Padmashri ma'am. AI inclusion into the curriculum is another major update that's happening. We'll talk about that as well. Thank you. Okay, Pushpalata ma'am. Fantastic. Thank you, Vandana ma'am. Neetu ma'am, there are multiple circulars actually. So I would request you to please go through the CBSE website. Oh, Reena, thank you so much, Reena ma'am. I didn't realize that I was fast on the slides. Okay. I don't have I make slides which are just the replica of whatever is there in the circular. So just for my strategical understanding on how to deliver the topics, that's it. So you can directly go through the PDF document itself for that matter, ma'am. Yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you, Snehal ma'am. Thank you, Deepthi ma'am. Generative AI, yeah. It's a cause of concern. Yeah, anytime when new development happens, it'll definitely be a cause of concern. You're right, ma'am. Praveen Chopra, sir, thank you so much for bringing up the topic of Olympiads. Yes, Olympiads is going to be an important topic, but right now, all the sessions that are going to happen in Super Sunday, at least until the month of June, is going to be from the perspective of readiness to start the next academic year. So probably Olympiad is more like a nice to have thing rather than need to have. So these nice to have topics like Olympiads will be taken in the month of June, July. Many other topics like that. But yeah. Ashwini ma'am, let's first understand the NCRF and then we'll talk about how to enroll for these in NSQF. The reflection form is coming on the chat once again. Yes, Ashwini ma'am, we'll talk about AI curriculum in education for sure. It's still not developed, Sai Jyoti. Still not developed. Who is CPT trainer in upcoming sessions? Pushpata ma'am, you're talking about super teacher CPT sessions? Then there'll be multiple trainers, ma'am. No problem, no problem. Yes, yes, Shri ma'am. Fill the feedback form and reflection form. You will get it. Sure, Farisa ma'am. Let's do that. Apologies for the inconvenience caused due to the video multiple times. I'll ensure that's corrected in the next session. Anyways, let's close for the day, teachers. Thank you so much. Please go through the documents. We'll have a quick revision in the next week on whatever we discussed on the past about NSQF and National Credit Framework. We'll conclude on the same in the forthcoming Super Sunday sessions. As of now, I'm not confident to tell you how many Super Sunday more it will take for us to understand national credits, because the depth of the circulars and the depth of the each and every PDF files. So probably it will take 2 or 3 more, but it will definitely have a conclusion in another 2 to 3 sessions. So thank you so much for today. I'll meet you again with another Super Sunday workshop on the next Sunday. Take care. Thank you so much, teachers. Bye, everyone.